it's Jimmy Lewis, vlog number 7 of my Tenere, and I'm going to update you on some stuff. Not going to be a big one because I haven't been riding that much. Been plenty of other stuff to ride, and it's getting really hot. So what I did do was the stuff I said I was going to do last time. I got my Touratech luggage. I got my, we're going to call them tip over guards, and my rotors, Galfer rotors showed up for my W wheels. So these didn't go on. They're just getting prepped right now. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But the other thing I did was fiddle around with the ECU. I've done some ECU tuning. I had some assistance from a company that makes the interface that gets in there, and from another company that does a tune, a specific tune to the bike. And I'm not sure that I got what I wanted. It got more power. This is without a doubt. It definitely woke the bike up, especially kind of, we'll call it like upper low end into the mid, the way it really pulls in the mid. So mid, upper mid range. It just gave the bike some nuts. It has the beans now, and top, it's definitely pulling harder. So it, like I suspected, it gave it more power. Did it do the rideability, drivability that I was wanting? I'm not sure because I haven't gone back out and really done that kind of stuff. I didn't bother to go hop it on logs and or try jumping things where I noticed that sort of stuff, because I've been riding it with luggage and I don't usually test that kind of stuff with all of my luggage on. And I haven't really done any more extreme enduro on my adventure bike, which is stupid, by the way. I just get suckered into it. So luggage is awesome. The Zega Pros, they have a new mounting system. It's very secure and locks on. It doesn't require turning some big screws. It has kind of a lever that hooks it onto the bike. The boxes are, like always, super robust. You can put a lot of stuff in there, probably too much stuff in my case. But what it has pointed out is now the rear suspension is too soft. It's sprung too soft. It's damped too soft to carry around the kind of weight that I'm going to be carrying around. So now we're into, I have to do the suspension. But I'm probably going to go ahead and ride it back from the Touratech Rally the way it is. I'll just be careful. I'll make somebody else carry all the heavy stuff, right? Anyhow, no, I'm gonna pack really light, I promise. So I got my luggage on the bike. It's well protected with my skid plates, my Chirby skid plates. I got tip over guards in case the bike tips over. Like I told you, Touratech pays attention where they mount this stuff. It was actually very simple to mount. I was kind of surprised they didn't have to tear the whole bike apart to get all this stuff on. It went on in literally a couple hours with all of the normal tools. They include any special bolts you need, but they're mounting it to stuff. If it takes a hit, it's not gonna break anything that you don't wanna break, like frames or subframes, and it's gonna protect the stuff that needs to be protected, i.e. radiators, and of course some of the plastic. So haven't tested that yet. I did test the how robust the rear mounts were, because I've been picking the bike up and maneuvering it around using those mounts. And when I have had it loaded, you can see that, yeah, there's a weight limit to it, but it's fair. It's where you would suspect for these things. So that stuff's all been good. I'll get a little bit deeper into the tuning. The other thing I need to look at with the tuning is I need to run a few more tanks of fuel through it to see if my mileage has been significantly affected, because it has been using more fuel, and I don't know how accurate now the dash instrument is in really reporting the true fuel consumption. I'm not sure whether it's, again, whether the way that they're manipulating this, it's not a tuner, it's actually going through an ECU, so it's not a piggyback tuner. And so they're kind of getting into the guts of it. One thing they did do is they reset the temperature for the fan to come on. So the fan's coming on a little bit less, and the bike is actually, or it's actually coming on more, but not running as long. It comes on sooner if you get it hotter, and then it turns off quicker. So I think it's not allowing it to get as hot when I'm doing this. So overall, pretty good. I haven't been getting it into the point where I need to, run the fan, but I noticed that was a concern with some people, and that's something that they did in the tune to play with. So these W wheels, which are super awesome. I like to have a second set of wheels. for a couple reasons. One, I'm always testing different tires, and that makes it easy. That way I can, if I know I'm going to go like on a long road ride where I'm just going to be burning through tires, I can have, I'll call them my street wheels, my road wheels with those more worn out tires. And then I can keep sort of a fresh set of Kenda big blocks on for when I know I'm going to need optimum traction. These are basically Excel rims, laced to Hahn hubs. And I was really impressed with the Hahn hubs because they come with all of the hardware you need to mount the rotors, to mount the sprocket on, to get everything set up. Even if I wanted to run the little disc rings on these, so the disc rings, I'm not going to run them because that'll fault the ABS. Galfa rotors are now in stock, so you can get these things. These, in my opinion, are some of the best rotors, if not the best rotors. They last, they provide really good feel. And even with the floating mounts, it seems like their floating mounts last longer, don't get as loose and as jangly as some of the others on these. So really nice there. Same thing, the rear retains the cush drive. The one thing I'm bummed on is I can't get one of my good DDC sprockets. They don't make it for the Tenere just yet, so I managed to get basically a Tusk steel replacement sprocket for it. So I'm going to keep the gearing the same. I'm kind of happy with where the gearing's at. And these appear to be super good quality. I'm going to put my rim tape on and continue to use tubes. I run not the super heavy duty, but the regular heavy duty Kenda tube and the big block tire. And then that way I'm able to just have a setup that I'm familiar with. I know what to carry to, carry as far as for spare tube and, getting the tire pump back up and stuff like that. If I encounter a flat, which frankly, I don't get too many flats, luckily, right? No, I just go around the rocks and try not to ride across nails. I don't know how you not ride across nails these days, but it happens. So that's where I'm at with the bike. Probably the next update, we'll talk about how well it performed on our little journey. And then it's off to suspension shop because I just don't have the time to pull it off and get it done right now. But it's time, really. It's got enough miles on it to where it needs to be serviced. That would help it. Going up the springs for sure is going to help it. And then we'll get it all balanced out and figured out. So thanks for checking in, watching our Tenere. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you want to reach our complaint department, just put it in the comments and we'll hopefully see you at the Tour Tech Rally or out on the trail. Cheers.